It's a tight race between you and your good friend Tapio. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean it's quite a tight one. If he finishes second, he's already scored in the championship. But we're not taking any of that pressure. It's just like any other rally and going for a good drive, a good rally, and yeah, of course it's going to be an attack rally, and we're just going to be attacking from the word go.
No, I mean there is no any thoughts really. I mean it's the same like all the rest of the rallies, and everybody wants to do or get the good result, and that's what we are aiming for as well.
This is the Kenya National Rally Championship, where the pace is frantic and the competitors border on insane. It's a world where each corner can trip you up or just give you that little bit extra when you need to win the stage, or win the rally, or maybe even the championship. But in rallying, even the best laid plans are often swept aside in a whim by the gods of the sport, who seem fickle at best, but downright cruel at worst. And if ever there was a perfect example of just how fickle or cruel the gods of rallying can be, then round 7 of the National Championship was it.
They're riding on the rim, let's go! We'll make it!
Welcome to the 7th round of the Kenya National Rally Championship. The KCB Kitengela Rally, set up in the Kajiado County where the roads in the area are flat out and very fast.
A fast jump at the culvert and the soil team. It's a fast jump.
The championship consists of 8 rounds per year, and with 6 rounds already behind, competitors were on a mission to reclaim lost ground and pride. And with the championship fiercely contested as it is, there was no doubt that all the crews in the class will be going flat out as often as possible. The very best of the KCB Kitengela Rally coming up, with every angle covered as usual. Tapio Laukkanen leads the overall supremacy standings with 129 points. Second place in this rally will guarantee him the championship. Second with 100 points, and final chance perhaps for Jassi Chatthe to take the fight to the Subaru Impreza of Laukkanen. It's a must-win rally for Chatthe for him to have any chance to defend the championship. Rajveer Rai has been a force to reckon with and is in third place with Ian Duncan and Carl Flash Tundo rounding up the top 5 positions. So here's what lies ahead. 6 stages of a total of 140 competitive kilometers, with the return of some classic sections not featured in a couple of years.
3, 2, 1, and we have a start.
After the ceremonial start of the KCB Kitengela branch,
there you go. Ian Duncan, about that.
things got underway with the 23-kilometer town to train end section, a stage with hair on his chest, sharp loose rocks, adding another dimension to the obstacles the drivers have to avoid. This was directly followed by the 3.75-kilometer second stage before a remote refuel at Kajiado Town. 2 stages to start with no service in between.
2, 1, go 450. To max left.
First on the road was no easy task, and the Ford Fiesta R5 found the going tough.
100 braking for short fast left minus.
As they also had to sweep the road. And so Barrion was always going to lose time. A short 12 minutes and 16 seconds later stopped the clock at the finish of stage 1 and 2:09 on stage 2.
Yeah, opening the rally was fine. We didn't really have any issues since considering it was an open road. There was a few cows, but other than that, there's nothing else. It was good.
Second on the road, The clock counts down to 0 for championship leader Tapio Laukkanen and Pasi Torma in their Subaru GVB 13. However, immediate problems for Tapio as he suffered a puncture on the first stage. Not the start he had hoped for as he lost time, and he tried to make it up on the second stage, but the short distance wasn't enough to have any impact, and by the end of the second stage he was in an unfamiliar 7th overall position. With Tapio not making a mark on the event as yet, the question was who was going to lead the rest of the field. And the answer came in the form of another former champion, Ian Duncan. Duncan pushed his Liquid Telecom Mitsubishi Evo 10 to record the fastest time on stage 1 and clinched the second stage win by a shocking 2 minutes and 6 seconds on stage 2 and now had a 12-second lead.
It's quite tricky, that's for sure. And then we did a bit of a nosedive, but hopefully everything's all right.
For defending champion Jassi Chatthe, it was exactly the start he needed. He was 3rd fastest on stage 1, and on stage 2 he shared identical times with Duncan by matching his pace. Chatthe was now 2nd overall, 9 seconds behind Duncan. It was yet another tough outing for the 2014 Kenya national champion. This excursion of the stage into the field lost him a couple of seconds, evidence of the brake failure he was suffering which later took him out of the rally. His navigator Gavin Lawrence explains.
It was unfortunate, we had a brake pipe rubbing on the rim and it eventually got a hole in it. We lost all the brake fluid in section 1 very early on and we couldn't repair it, and it's a very fast rally, so we took it as being too dangerous to continue.
9 seconds behind Duncan, despite finding the opening stage fairly daunting, was Rajveer Rai and Tim Challen, who were in touch with the fastest times and were now in 3rd place overall. Carl Flash Tundo's Ford Fiesta Proto developed issues the day before the rally, and he quickly borrowed Baldev Chaga's old Evo 10 to take part in the race, after making arrangements with the officials that he'll be racing for fun and not competing for championship points. Flash was on beast mode attack. A scary moment for Tundo, who was 2nd fastest on the opening stage and was 5 seconds slower than the leader Duncan on stage 2 and was 4th overall.
We've just done 1, 2, they've been okay, a bit loose, but we bent a rim, so just changed it.
Further back was the boss, Rajveer Rai, who had a conservative start. He was in 6th overall position, 20 seconds off the pace of the leader Duncan. Imran Mogul was also in the mix, flying through the stages in his Lotus Subaru N12 after missing the Eldoret rally.
It's going pretty well. We're enjoying it, but very loose. So we just keep it on the road.
Rajveer Rai and Zahir Shah in their Cabras Mitsubishi R4, and Amanraj Rai and Tosin Khan all made it safely through the opening stages. So after 2 stages, it was the legendary Ian Duncan on top of the leaderboard. Jassi Chatthe was 2nd, just 9 seconds back. Rajveer Rai was just 1 second behind Chatthe, and 4th place was tied between Flash Tunda and Manveer Barian. The Flying Finn was tied with Imran Mogul for 7th, so it was fairly tight at the top of the standings. Outside the top 10, Fahaz Khan driving Oil Libya's Mitsubishi Evo 9 was in 11th place. He was followed by Cospecaire's Mitsubishi Evo 9 of Mombasa's Issa Mirza, navigated by Kavit Dave. Asad Kalulu was 13th, followed by the fastest indigenous crew of Taiti Washira and Stephen Boothia in their Mitsubishi Evo 6. Mahesh Halai and his co-driver Hirani Paren, sitting in for his nephew Ketan Halai, rounded up the top 15. The first 2 stages forced some early casualties. First to falter was the WRC DMAC rally driver Karan Patel, co-driven by Shamir Yusuf. Karan Patel's welcome return was met by overheating issues, exiting the rally not long before the start. From Kilifi, Piero Konobia unfortunately had a bad run and was sidelined with brake failure and double punctures. Unfortunately for Jassi Chatthe, he had a bleak start to the rally as he was caught in Piero Konobia's dust on the rocky first stage. Gestures by Iceman clearly showing his frustration, and to add insult to injury, he also got a puncture and he painfully crawled out of the first stage sitting in the dust of Konobio. He had lost time and was down in 16th place. John Nganga and Edwin Njoroge struggled to keep their Subaru N10 in the race and later retired, also due to an overheating engine. Steve Kasheru was hungry for rally action. Big slide there, almost off the road, but the rocky roads of Kajiado sunk their teeth and punctured Kasheru's Subaru on stage 1 and twice on stage 3, forcing him to retire. So after a quick refuel, the crews went on to tackle the longest section of the rally, another 43.7 kilometers of torture, stage 3 known as Airstrip. For Ian Duncan, it was another great opportunity to extend his slender lead, but fate intervened. The nosedive he took on stage 2 had damaged the sump guard and took him completely out of the rally, his 4th retirement this season. This man, Tapio Laukkanen, has become synonymous as the Speedmaster. If Tapio is in the rally, you're likely to find him at the head of the field. The long stage was perfect for Laukkanen to catch up with the front runners, but unfortunately for Laukkanen, the stage turned around and beat him right where it hurts. Laukkanen suffered a second puncture, crushing his hopes of sealing the championship in this round. He was in trouble, tumbling down the leaderboard. Another puncture would put him out of the rally, so Laukkanen carefully nursed the car to service, losing a lot of time.
So far it's not so good. We get puncture in first stage, second stage we try carefully, and third stage we get the other puncture, and we lost about 4 minutes. Now we only survive to the finish line.
This opened the door for his rival Chatthe to build on his early lead. Chatthe put his head down and stamped his authority in this stage, and their performance clearly showed they had every intention of taking the championship fight all the way. Chatthe was in his element, finishing in the fastest time of 19 minutes and 2 seconds. Rajveer Rai and Gareth Dorr were the second fastest crew in the stage, and they were undeniably fast. A fan cam capturing him taking off like a boss. Rajveer was 17 seconds behind Chatthe in this stage.
The second and third stage was also quite good and really enjoyed it, so hopefully we carry on the same way.
Rajveer Rai is another driver that has proven his abilities behind the wheel of his feisty Tim Sales Ford Fiesta, and he posted the 3rd fastest time on stage 3, just 6 seconds behind Rajveer. And with Ian Duncan's demise from the rally, Rajveer had moved up 1 spot and was delighted to be in 2nd overall position.
No, I'm second. Yeah, no, it's good. It's a decent first loop, so we'll try and push on a bit more and see what happens in the second loop.
Manveer's MRT Ford Fiesta was the first car to tackle all the stages of the day, and he was taking no prisoners, improving in every outing and enjoying top-level rallying.
Max left coming up, and then 100 to a blind max left. 150 to max right cut.
He set an identical 3rd fastest time with Rajveer, and Barrion was now in 3rd overall.
It's a fast jump at the culvert. The culvert here is fast jump.
Rajveer Rai was doing some serious low flying from behind the wheel of his Cabras Mitsubishi R4. He was driving fast and safely and was now in 5th overall position. 10 seconds behind Rajveer was the fastest Subaru driven by Imran Mughal, who was now in 6th place overall. Mughal was not the only one in a hurry. Mombasa's Itza Mirza was now the fastest Evo 9 and in 7th overall position. Iceman Chana was pushing just as hard despite the slow start in the opening 2 stages and was now in 9th place. Fahaz Khan drove well, securing a top 10 position. One name we haven't mentioned is Flash Tundo, who unfortunately suffered a puncture and later his rear diff mount broke, entering into the retiring list. In the hotly contested two-wheel drive category, the fierce battle for the championship was between the speed genius Eric Bengi and the fast and very consistent Alex Lairangi. Eric Bengi took control of the race very early, powering his Menengai Cream Toyota Run X and opening more than a 2-minute gap on his closest rivals. Bengi was all guns blazing, dominating this class from the start and was now 15th place overall.
So far so good, we are keeping it neat and tidy, trying to just maintain our pace, but we had a very good run the first 3 stages.
As for Alex Lairangi, things were not going as planned.
The day has been quite okay, though we had a puncture in the first stage, and then we had some issues with the temperature gauge. It was going so up, so we had to slow.
The Delights crew were in a disappointing 5th place in this class, more than 7 minutes behind Bengi and 22nd overall. However, outgoing defending champion Leonardo Ferresi had a trouble-free run and maxed out his Sport Pesa Toyota Corolla, coming in 2nd in this class and 16th overall position.
I mean, we're realistic about our chances this year, but for us, the main thing is to have fun.
Breathing down Ferresi's neck was Sami Nyori in his Moonwalker Toyota Run X. He was just 1 second behind Ferresi and now 17th overall position. Talented Sam Karangatha and Edwin Dukui, the youngest crew in the rally, were keeping it neat and tidy, cautiously pushing their Subaru Leone and were 4th in this class at 5 minutes behind Nyori and 21st overall position. Darren Miranda and Wayne Fernandez were the newest entry in the two-wheel drive class. It was a tough outing for their Subaru Impreza GC3 and the group was struggling to keep up with the pace. They were at the tail end Charlie, 5th in this class and 24th overall. Finally, the classic car class was eligible for the championship score after 3 cars were entered. However, the Cementos crew of Ramesh Vishram and Riaz Ismail ended up being the Lone Rangers in this class, after their competitors retired even before the start of the race due to engine problems. Vishran's 1972 Ford Escort Mark II was in 19th overall position.
It's fast, dry, very rocky now. The front cars have removed all the rocks on the road. We are taking it easy.
Flash Tundo's sister Natasha Tundo was in 18th overall position, but unfortunately the Rally Chicks experienced their first retirement this season when the high Subaru Impreza suffered gearbox failure, leaving them stranded in the 5th stage. Osman Abdullahi and George Mwangi were 20th position overall when their Subaru Impreza was sidelined with broken wheel studs. The Kitengela rally was proving to be a tough event, knocking out 13 competitors, turning them into spectators. 22 crews remained as the battle of the championship entered the final loop of the rally. A visit to the service park, the crews took time to patch up and tackle the remaining stages, and we had time to catch up with the rally leader and defending champion Jassi Chatthe.
It's been good. First stage I think we were a bit slow. Second stage, of course, it's a very short stage. And third stage we attacked, and I think that's where we made some good time. Other than that, we've had a clean run so far, touch wood, and we hope the same in the next loop.
So for Chatthe, things were going as planned, keeping his championship hopes alive and with a 24-second lead, though he would have preferred a bigger margin. A great fight was in store as 3 crews of Rajveer, Manvir and Onka, all within striking range with just 4 seconds separating them, an indication of the close racing to come. And with 3 stages remaining, the spectators were in for a treat. For championship leader Tapio Laukkanen, it was total mayhem. And he had to re-strategize as he was the big loser in this race, down in 7th overall position. The last 3 stages were a repeat of the first loop, bringing fresh hopes for the crews as they knew every corner and were ready to go even faster. But without the benefit of service in between, things could still go wrong. There is an old saying that has a lot to do with counting chickens, and even though a few rally drivers were foolhardy enough to do just that, a number of crews may still be surprised at just how suddenly and just how hard reality can bite. Rajveer Rai was well on his way to record another top 5 finish. He was 6th fastest on both stage 4 and 5. But with the last and final stage 6, his Cabras Mitsubishi R4 developed mechanical problems and he painfully retired 10 kilometers to the finish. Even more sorrow headed to the 4th place crew of Uncle Rai and Gareth Dorr, who were shining in this rally. They were 4th and 5th fastest on stage 4 and 5 respectively, but just like his brother Rajveer, he retired on the last stage with a broken rim. The Fat Lady of Kitengela rally had sung, a sad ending for both Cabras crews, bringing an end to what was shaping up to be great performances by both. However, Tapio came out swinging and was driving like a madman. The second loop was the scene for him to return to form rather than be buried in an upset. He clinched his first stage win by being the fastest on stage 4 and was 2nd fastest on stage 5, just 1 second off the leader, giving the final push and amazingly clinching his 2nd stage win by being the fastest on the last stage, reminding the top runners that he is the speed master. Mr. Heavyfoot Tapio Laukkanen jumped from 7th and finished 4th overall, a historic championship win now lying in balance. So with the finishing line almost in sight, the 3 remaining warriors were currently the Jassi Chatthe, Rajveer Rai in 2nd and Manveer Barian in 3rd. First on the road is normally a disadvantage, but Manveer Barian was clearly in the zone. He was 3rd fastest on stage 4 and 4th fastest on stage 5. Barian's excellent pace on the gravel sections moved him to just 3 seconds behind 2nd place Rajveer and 20 seconds behind Chatthe entering into the final stage. Barian was very fast and on full attack.
100 to Max Crest.
The 43-kilometer stage, his last chance to make any significant change.
The C600 to the flying finish.
And Manveer is flying.
And done.
Incredible stuff. A stunning performance from Manveer, finishing in a benchmark time of 1 hour 7 minutes and 4 seconds. Now it was a final loop showdown with just 20 seconds separating the top 3. Representing Team Kibos is defending champion Jassi Chatthe. His previous stage win in section 3 hurled him up the leaderboard, giving him a fighting chance to win the race. He was 4th fastest in stage 4 and 3rd fastest in stage 5, and now it was the final 43-kilometer marathon stage. Mad dash to the finish. 2nd place Rajveer had caught up with him, just 3 seconds separating the pair. These were surely nerve-wracking moments, as their car was now developing engine problems, but Chatthe was not giving up. As the championship was on the line, 3 seconds, remember, was the final lead at the final stage. 1 error and it could all be over for Chatthe. Then the unthinkable happened. A puncture. With 2 kilometers to go and the finishing line literally in sight. The crew jumped out to check the damage. Every second counted.
We drove on the puncture and then we had to stop in the stage to check because the oil pressure light was on. So we stopped in the stage to check if there was oil in the engine because the engine was knocking.
Looking at the clock, and in a matter of seconds Manveer was now in the lead, and in a cruel twist of fate Chatthe was now in trouble and was not only going to lose the race but also any chance to win the championship.
Come on, come on, come on.
They're fighting on the rim. Let's go. Oil pressure, see? We'll make it. We'll make it.
After 1 minute of confusion,
2 Ks are left.
it was a desperate dash to the finish line. Driving on a puncture, Chatthe crawled to the finish line. The damage was done, and it was now left to Rajveer to take advantage. Rajveer Rai has been dangerous behind the Tim Sales Ford Fiesta despite retiring twice this season, but his comeback has been quite an effort, blasting through stage 4, setting the second fastest time and clinching a stage win on stage 5. And Rajveer pulled a rabbit out of his hat and finished the rally just 5 seconds ahead of Manveer to win the KCB Kitengela rally.
Yeah, it's good. It's always good to win, so it's a good feeling.
So there you have it. A fantastic win by Rajveer, his first win this season, and a historic win for the M Sport Ford Fiesta R5, the first on African soil. Manveer drove another great rally to take second place.
I'm happy to finish second on the podium again, so can't complain.
Chatthe managed third place, bagging his 6th podium position. Laukkanen came in 4th place despite their worries earlier on, and Imran Mogul rounded up the top 5. 18 out of 35 cars finished the rally, making every result a victory. In the two-wheel drive class, all the entrants finished the rally, and Eric Bengi was the runaway winner with an over 5-minute margin.
Today was a very important win for us. We are very, very happy. At least that gives us a little bit of margin on the championship points.
Sami Nyori overtook Varesi in the second loop to clinch second spot. And Sam Karangatha finally registered his first finish in his rallying career.
It's a great feeling to be at the end of a national championship rally, and we really needed this.
His navigator Edward Ndukui was over the moon with this achievement.
This rally we decided we're going for a finish. We're going to set a good pace, a comfortable pace, and here we are in the finish.
It's hot in the two-wheel drive championship standings. Bengi leads with 146 points. Lairangi is second with 132 points. The overall championship will go down to the wire. The battle for third place is between Varesi with 104 points and Nyori with 99 points. Sam Karangatha finally gets to the leaderboard in 5th position. In the classic car class, Ramesh Vishram leads the championship with 46 points, and if Jonathan Soman doesn't compete in the final round, then he'll be crowned the champion in this category. Asad Kalulu is the 2016 SPV champion by winning this class with 105 points. In the S-Class Championship, Taiki Washira, navigated by Stephen Boothia, were the winners, finishing in a fantastic 10th overall position in their old Mitsubishi Evo 6. However, the tables remain the same, with a shortage of competitors in this category. Chandrakar still leads the class with 78 points. So let's have a look at the overall championship. Natasha Tundo is the Division 3 champion, a historic win and the first female to clinch this title after her closest rival Osman Abdullahi retired from this race. Mahesh Halai, who's been on top form, is the 2016 Division 2 champion, winning it with 149 points. In Division 1, Onkarai is the champion with 117 points. And finally, looking at the overall driver standings, Tapio is the 2016 Kenya National Rally champion.
I mean, we had a very difficult start. We got the 2 punctures, so lost a lot of time. But then, obviously now it's very revealing. Get to the finish, and obviously now it looks like the championship is there. So yeah, very happy. Of course, it's just one merit, but it's a nice one.
Looking at the camera, how do you really feel about winning the championship?
Just like this.
But unfortunately, the championship celebrations have been put on hold due to protests by Chatte's Team Key boss and Tapio's multiple rally team against each other, touching on technical issues.
There were 3 protests lodged by the competitors. The first one was by Team Kibos against Tapio's car for an illegal airbox. The second protest was lodged by MRT against Kibos for an illegal turbo. The third protest was from MRT against Team Kibos for being towed on one of the transport sections. My decision was to disqualify Jassi Chatthe for being towed. There's an appeal against that. We will wait to the appeals board decision to tell us which way it goes.
The championship results are provisional, and sadly this fascinating battle between these 2 rally giants, Tapio Laukkanen and Jassi Chatthe, on the gravel stages will now be solved by the appeals panel. And we will have more details of the protests and the outcome of the appeal in our next episode. What drama! And with just 1 round remaining, we will be off to Naivasha for the last installment of this epic battle. The Guru Nanak Rally will play host to the final round of the 2016 Kenya National Rally Championship. Will Tapio be officially crowned as the 2016 champion? Well, let's find out in the ultimate round of the championship. Guru Nanak Rally, here we come. See you there.